Weapons on the Get ready. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is your DJ.
News just in is that Pretoria has formally sent a request to Lilongwe seeking the extradition of self-proclaimed prophet Shepherd Bushiri and his wife Mary. An assessment process will now begin in Malawi to ascertain whether or not the two can be brought back. The Bushiris, of course, absconded from South Africa while out on bail. They had been charged with fraud and money laundering in South Africa. I'm joined now by Malawi's Information Minister and Government Spokesperson, Gospel Kazako. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you so much for your time. Could you just confirm exactly what has been received by the Malawian authorities from South Africa?
I can confirm that we have received documentation from South Africa. These are documents that are a request for the extradition of Bushiri and his wife. So, yeah, we have received them this morning.
And we know there have been problems before with the paperwork. Is everything in order so far?
Yeah, so far so good. I think the problem has been on your side. We follow the law here. We follow the processes here. We follow the procedures here. But I think there were one or two things that were not stitching up very well. But the ones that we have received now, I think that's it. Yes, we have the documents now. We have the formal request from the South African government.
Could you explain how this formal extradition process interacts with what's been happening in court in Malawi? We know that the couple appeared and then it was ruled that their arrest was actually illegal. And now we know that the state prosecutor is in the process of trying to appeal that. How does that jive with this extradition process?
There's a very, very high likelihood that the appeal will have to be relooked again and reviewed again, having received the request from South Africa. Certainly, there will have to be certain new movements towards that direction.
All right. Could you tell us if there are any, what sort of things might stop Malawi from returning the couple to stand trial in South Africa?
It is the law. Nothing else.
No, I understand. I suppose I'm asking what aspects of the law might prevent it.
Then I think that has to be interpreted. But we don't have to be negative. It's the same law also that can allow that the Bushiris be extradited. And if it does, we will extradite them. The same law, if it informs us that they cannot be extradited, if it does, we will also not be able to extradite them. So it's about the law. It's not about this government. It's not about any individual. It's not about any amount of anger or any amount of emotion or pushing. It's all about the law. We're just going to follow the law.
So I suppose what I'm after is whether there are aspects of the law that relate, for example, to diplomatic immunity. We understand that the Bushiris have a diplomatic passport, and also to any potential fears of safety that they might have if they were returned. Could those indeed be very real blockages to them being returned to South Africa?
I think that will be decided by the courts. That will be decided by the experts of the law, and those things will be the ones that will inform their decision. We cannot discuss that here because it might create a bad aspect to the whole case. We cannot do that here.
And can you update us, are the Bushiris in their home in Lilongwe at the moment, still in the country?
Yeah, they're here. They are in their home here. I would like to believe that they are in a home, but we must also mention here that we might not know exactly because they are free people, so we're not like following them. You remember last time the court had decided that these are free people, so I would like to believe that they should be around because we haven't heard anything as to whether they have gone elsewhere other than this country. They should be around.
Are you able to give us any time frames of how quickly this extradition process might move along now, or is it impossible at this stage to give us that indication?
I think it's very difficult for us to give you any indication because it will depend on the amount of work that will be done, and the lawyers will have to sit down. That's the Attorney General with his team. I think once they are through, we'll certainly come back to you and tell you what's the way forward.
Well, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. We do appreciate it. That was Malawi's Information Minister and a government spokesperson.